E.N.D here. Long time ago, on the plain of Dominaria, two brothers, Erza and Misra, started a war that shaped Dominaria forever. The Brothers' War, also known as the Antiquities War, was the legendary Great War between two brothers that spawned after each found half of an ancient Tran Power Stone, the Might Stone and the Weak Stone, and wanted them both. A bit of history. The war lasted for decades, devastating Teresier in the process, before the dramatic conclusion on the Verted Island Argot. There, Erza discovered that his brother has been consumed by the Phyrexians and activated the Golgothian Silex. The Silex blast totally destroyed the island, activated Erza's Planeswalker Spark, and initiated the famed Ice Age. For the time being, we know very little about the set, apart from the packages which were leaked on Amazon, and I will be referring to them in my predictions. The only two things we know for sure are: first is that this will be the second part of an already announced 4-set Phyrexian story arc, where the fate of Dominaria and the multiverse is set to unravel, and let's see if the fate of the future is rooted in this return to a pivotal story of Dominaria's and Magic's history. Second, this set will have artifacts, a lot and a lot of artifacts. But what do we expect for this return to the past, the Brothers' War? Here are my personal predictions. But first, why not? Let's have a look at how I did in my Dominaria United predictions. Total score 56 out of 100. What I have correctly predicted are: United against the Phyrexians, elves and humans will have an active part in this particular union, the return of Karn, Jaya, Ajani and Liliana, even though no one would have predicted a reprint of Liliana of the Veil, and another completed Planeswalker, which eventually was Ajani. On the other hand, I have wrongly predicted the return of Masterpieces, Slivers, a new Planeswalker Spark, and a new Mox, even though we got a new Lotus. Overall, not my best prediction video, but I deserve a small applause. Very, very funny. Intro, please. First prediction, no Antiquities. The original Brothers' War was depicted and referred to in the second expansion set ever released for Magic the Gathering, Antiquities. After the miraculously found of the Legends boxes by Wizards of the Coast and cards cracked were inserted in Dominaria United collector boxes, everyone is expecting a similar move on the Brothers' War, but instead of Legends, Antiquities cards. I predict that in no way Wizard of the Coast will repeat the same marketing stand back to back on two sets, especially when considering that Antiquities booster boxes are valued twice, if not 3 times, the Legend booster boxes, and they are more difficult to find in a decent condition. Second prediction, a connection with the present. The Brothers' War will focus on an event that already happened, meaning much is already known about its characters and story. But I am predicting that the story will not be as we know it, and there could be a relation to the Phyrexian plot that started to pick up in Kamigawa during Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. At this stage, it's very difficult to predict, but in the history of Magic the Gathering, we already had a set that went back in the past to change the present. I'm referring to Fate Reforged. In Fate Reforged, Sarkhan Fall used the Nexus to go back in time and save Ugin from Nicol Bolas, shaping forever the present and future of Tarkir. Who knows, maybe the Phyrexian found a way to go back in time during the Brothers' War, and they will really shape Dominaria and the multiverse forever. Third prediction, Erza Planeswalker card. In the history of Magic the Gathering, with the exception of the unstable mythic Planeswalker, Erza's Academy Headmaster, which is a reference to the beheading of Erza by Gerard, there was never a Planeswalker card for Erza, even though He's the most famous and influential planeswalker that ever planeswalked the multiverse. The only decent card ever printed for Urza was in Modern Horizons, Urza Lord High Artificer. The Brothers' War is the perfect set to finally get a Planeswalker card for the most powerful Planeswalker ever existed, Urza, and I'm sure that this card will have a strong synergy with artifacts and card drawing. Fourth prediction, more Planeswalkers. While we are talking about a potential Planeswalker card for Urza, I'm sure that this set will be up to standard and will have more Planeswalkers, at least another 2. One of them could be easily Leshrac, and finally he will get his own Planeswalker card. As a character, Leshrac was a Planeswalker during the Brothers' War and was eventually trapped inside the shard during the Ice Age of Dominaria. Another Planeswalker card could be easily another popular Dominaria legend, Lord Windgrace. He also was a Planeswalker on Dominaria at the time of the Brothers' War, and as a character, he was the protector of Urborg and the Catfolk civilization he was from. Nowadays, his spirit still watch over his beloved Urborg. Fifth prediction, another Mox. Dominaria is synonymous with Lotuses or Moxes. Whenever a new set is released and set on Dominaria, everyone expects a new card for one of these artifacts. Dominaria United didn't disappoint us, giving us the Timeless Lotus, an artifact that can tap for the 5 basic mana. Therefore, for the Brothers' War, I'm predicting a new Mythic Mox card. At this stage, I'm also risking predicting that this new Mox will have synergy with artifacts, or mana produced can only be used for artifacts. Sixth prediction, returning mechanics. We have already discussed that the main focus of the set are the artifacts, therefore why not bring back a very successful artifact-themed mechanic, Metalcraft. Metalcraft is an ability word introduced in Scars of Mirrodin. It gives a bonus to a permanent or a spell if its controller also controls 3 or more artifacts. Because of the vast amount of artifacts in the set, I predict that Metalcraft will be a returning mechanic in the Brothers' War. Also, at this stage, I wouldn't be surprised if Affinity for Artifacts will have a comeback. Seventh prediction, the return of inventions. The last artifact team sets in Magic the Gathering were Kaladesh and Aether Revolt back in 2016. These 2 sets gave us the inventions, as at today considered as the most successful and stunning masterpieces ever released by Wizards of the Coast. And let's be honest, those shiny lottery artifact cards fitted perfectly in the theme of those 2 sets, because Urza and Misra are 2 genius artificers, meaning that they have invented and created multiple artifacts, and the Brothers' War will focus on artifacts. I am predicting the return of inventions, a new breed of shiny artifact masterpieces that will be extremely difficult to pull, similar to the original Kaladesh inventions. At the end of the day, you need to put something of value in these boxes to sell. 8th prediction, mechanical creatures. This is the Brothers' War, an all-out war between 2 brothers and one of the most lengthy and devastating war in the history of Magic the Gathering and Dominaria. 2 genius artificers brothers, meaning that they will not have a normal army, but a mechanical army. For the Brothers' War, I'm predicting that both factions will have huge mechanical armies with some big and scary artifacts and vehicles. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised that we'll have certain popular mechanical creatures like dragons, angels, goblins, and elves. 9th prediction, Retro Frame. As we are going back to the time of the Brothers' War and the first expansion sets ever released, the showcase for the set can easily be a return to nostalgia. Retro Frame. Retro Frame has been recently successfully adopted for the Time Spiral Remastered time-shifted cards, the Modern Horizons 2, Modern Horizons 1 time-shifted cards, and the Secret Lair drops, Devil Fraser Signets, and Talismans. Therefore, for the Brothers' War, I am predicting an old-school Retro Frame for certain cards, and I am further predicting that old-school Retro Frame foils will have the famous swoosh, extremely popular with players and collectors. 10th and last prediction, the return of Thronelands. Erza's mine, Erza's power plant, and Erza's tower. These 3 lands, first printed in Antiquities, and don't forget that the Brothers' War will have similarities to Antiquities, have been synonymous with Rem, especially in decks like Eldrazi, Karn Liberated, and Mono Green. These 3 cards were legal twice before in Standard. The first time was back when Standard was first established, with the Tron lands appearing from Chronicles through 5th edition. The second time was from the beginning of 8th edition rotation until the end of 9th edition rotation. Might be interesting to see how these 3 lands would impact the current Standard and especially Pioneer. And as per Antiquities, I think there will be different art versions of the card, and I wouldn't be surprised that one of them would be very difficult to pull, like the infamous Hidetsugu Devouring Chaos Neon Red. So these are my predictions for the Brothers' War. Leave me in the comment below what are your predictions, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.